First registration for your off-road e-bike to be registered to be used in the UK on the road. I'm going to guide you through the steps. First things first, we need to understand what form you need to fill out for the first registration. What you can see in front of me is what's called a declaration. That vehicle is new form. So basically, if your bike is brand new and less than 3 months old, you'll need to fill in this form that you can see in front of me, as well as a second form called the V55-4 form, which is the first registration form. That's this form that you can see in blue. With this, your mileage on the bike will have to be between 0 or up to 20 miles max. This is classed as delivery mileage. Any more, it's classed as a used bike basically. If your bike is older than 3 months, you'll only need to fill out one form, and that is the V55 form, which is this one that you can see on the screen now in black and white. The new form and the used form, they're both pretty much the exact same form, but you have to fill out one particular form for your bike, whether it's used or new. I'm going to cover the used bike form. I did this with my off-road Talaria Stinger MX4. Even though I bought the bike brand new from a registered dealer, I still filled out the used bike form for the first registration, as I've had my bike for a year before I actually registered it on the road, registered it for on-road use. So moving forward, what you are going to need is a certificate of newness. You'll need a Nova reference number. You'll need a copy of bill of sale, so proof of sale or receipt, postal order, which will include a tax fee of £24 as an example. That was the fee for myself. My bike falls under a 125 category, and you'll need a £55 registration fee postal order. You'll also need to send a copy of your driver's license or passport as ID, and a utility bill dated within 3 months showing your address as well. I used the council tax letter. You'll also need to include a cover letter, just with a brief explanation of why you're doing this. Now all of this information there goes with the form in the same envelope to the DVLA. If you would like a yearly dated plate, license plate, say a 2023 or 2024 plate, then you will need a certificate of newness. I found this very difficult to get hold of. I couldn't get one. I spoke with Talaria Ebike on 2 separate occasions over the phone. They were really good, really nice, really sound people, but they was unable to issue me a certificate of newness. It's my understanding that you can only get one with a road legal version of the bike. Very peculiar. If you had something like a Yamaha, KTM or a Honda, etc., like an MX bike, then you can literally contact the manufacturer with proof of your VIN number, and you can pay a fee and request a certificate of newness. You can't do that with Talaria for some reason. If you've got Surron or an E-Ride Pro, something like that, by all means contact them in some way, shape or form if you can, to see if you're able to get a certificate of newness. I even contacted the dealership as well that I bought the bike from. They were unable to get me one. So yeah, if you want a yearly dated plate, you'll need a certificate of newness. Other than that, your bike will have to be registered on a Q plate, which isn't the end of the world. It just means everyone can't see that you're riding a brand new shiny bike by the year it was made. So, assuming that you can't get a certificate of newness, you'll have to register your bike on a Q plate. In the cover letter, you need to write a little statement that explains, I am unable to obtain a certificate of newness, so I would like to register my bike on a Q plate. You need to request this in the cover letter, because if you don't request it, or you don't send a certificate of newness, they'll just decline the application automatically. They cannot assume that you want a Q plate, so you need to state that you would like a Q plate. Next, in the cover letter, you'll need to include a copy of your Nova reference number. I've made a separate video on how to obtain a Nova reference number for your bike, which will be uploaded after this video. Again, you need this or your application will get rejected. Yeah, there's no way. I've done it, I've tried. There's no way of been able to get your bike registered without the Nova number for sure. So again, I've made a little video how to fill out that form and how to get hold of that for you as well. That will be coming after this one. So we'll move on and we'll crack on and I'll show you how to fill out the form. So assuming that your bike's brand new, it's less than 3 months old, you fill out this declaration that the vehicle is new, so you type in the make. Using my bike as an example, I'd put Talaria, the model, Sting R, the body type, motorcycle, type approval, exempt enduro, and then in the colour, mine's green, so I type green. Cylinder capacity, put 0. Revenue weight, my bike weighs 58 kilos, I believe. And then you'd put the mileage recorded on the speedometer, again anywhere between 0 and 20 miles. And then you include your VIN number underneath that, and then there is no engine number, and then from there, section B, you fill out your name and your address, your contact telephone number, and then you tick across all these boxes down there and pop in your signature and then date it, sign and date it. That's the declaration of newness form. That's if your bike's new. If your bike's not new or it's older than 3 months, then it's classed as a used vehicle. You don't need to fill this in. We'll move straight across to the V55-5 form. I'm going to leave a link in the description box to these forms so they're easily accessible. When I do the Nova video, I'll leave a link to the Nova form as well, so that's easily accessible. So V55 form, first registration, section 1, registration number, we don't have one yet, so you can leave that blank. Section 2, tax class, this is where you would type or write bicycle. Section 3, period of tax is for, I did 12 months, again it was £24 for me, so in the registration fee I tick the box, and then tax payable I put £24. Manufacturer, using me as an example, Talaria, then the make, Sting R, then the model, I put TL4000, then the type of body, I put motorcycle, then the wheel plan, 2-wheel, then the colour, mine's green, so I put green, and then section 11, type approval, really important, you need to put exempt enduro. So this is going to sort of exempt you from having to do any on-road testing like an L1 e-bike would need, or a moped or something like that. This is an off-road bike to be used on the road, so you can, there's loads of information that we get to skip by writing that. So type approval, exempt enduro. From there you can scroll down to section 18 and then you just type in your max net power. So mine's Talaria Sting R, so mine's 8 kilowatts, so I'll put 8. And then we can move up to the top right hand corner, state, country the vehicle was purchased. I put UK, England, then tick if it's left hand or right hand drive. Mine's right hand drive throttle, so I ticked right hand drive. Date the form which the tax is to run from, which is the day of registration, so choose your date you want it to be registered from. Type of fuel, electric, because it's an electric bike, and then underneath that you pop in your VIN number. From there, once you've typed in your VIN number, you can skip everything else and then scroll down to the year of manufacturer. I put 2023 because mine's a 23 model, you put whatever yours is. And then from there you can move on to the second page, page number 2. If you print this out, it might come on a reverse section, or it might print out 2 pieces of paper, but essentially from there you move on to the second page, which is your personal details. So tick your title if you're male or female, so I'll tick Mr, put my full name, my address, postcode, then move on to the date of birth. Popped in my date of birth, I then popped in my telephone number and my email address, and section 72 after that, which is really important. What you need to put in here is, because the vehicle is for enduro use only, so section 72 you need to write because the vehicle is for enduro use only. Really important that you put that. After that, your mileage recorded on the speedometer. So I popped in my mileage. I went off and drove my bike after, sort of while this was in process. So obviously my mileage changed. What can you do is what it is. So pop whatever you want to pop in there for the mileage for your bike. Once you've done that, you can then scroll down and sign and date it. So literally after the mileage, signature and date. That's it. That's literally it. So that is the form. If you've got a brand new bike, I think the only difference is with this form is it doesn't show the mileage. You'd fill it out the exact same, but it hasn't got the mileage section on there, so you don't put that in, but everything else is the exact same. So that is your first registration form. Again, you send your cover letter with this form explaining that you want your bike registered on a Q plate because you was unable to get a certificate of newness. As well, you're going to include a copy of a bill. I use a council tax letter. You're going to use some photo ID, like a driver's license or passport, just a copy of like a printed copy. And again, you're going to include the Nova number on your cover letter. That's it, essentially. Pop it in the post and away you go. Now, the address that you send it to is literally all you put in the envelope is DVLA Swansea and then the postcode Sierra Alpha 991 Bravo Echo. That's it. And it worried me a little bit, I'll be honest, because I thought there must be some form of department that you send it to, be a bit more specific, but nope, that's it. That's where you send it to. So yeah, pop your cover letter, all your information in an envelope along with this form. There's no reason why you shouldn't receive a V55 in the post within sort of 3 weeks. It can take up to 6 weeks. For me, it took 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks to the day. This is all very overwhelming. I've tried to keep this video as sort of short and sweet as possible because it can go on forever. There's so much detail I could go into, but in a nutshell, this is what it is. No more, no less. For me, the whole process took... I started it at the middle of June, and I received mine back, my V5. So I started this process in the middle of June, or towards the end of June actually, and that was including the process for the Nova form, absolutely everything from the start, and I got mine at the beginning of September, sort of less than a week ago from making this video. So August, September, yeah, 2 months. Just short 2 months basically it took. So fill it out, do it right, and you'll have no issues. Even if you have some form of issue, they will return your documents and everything to you and tell you specifically what the issue is. I tried it without a Nova. They sent a letter back saying you need a Nova. Give me a brief explanation on how to try and get one. So I did exactly that, got one, sent it back, and then boom, here we are. So yeah, hopefully this has helped everyone. Second video coming for the Nova application. That'll be dropping after this one. And then this is a 3-part series essentially. So after the Nova, I'll do a quick little explanation about sort of MOT for here in the UK, what you'll need for MOT and insurance. Nice sort of short and sweet little video. Yeah, hopefully that helps. And like I said, I wish you all the best of luck. Peace out.